So welcome to another episode of Cold Press Life Lessons with Yvette Victoria. That's me, yours truly. So we'll start with a story. First things first, the last couple of weeks, or I should even say like a month, right? I had come back from Vegas. Vegas was really good. So I think maybe in May, I went to Vegas. I spoke at a real estate conference about marketing and the importance of it in your real estate business. And that was wonderful. Like, whenever I'm speaking, I'm like on top of the world. Whenever I'm meeting new people, I'm just like, I'm thriving, right? I thrive off of that. And then I go back and I hermit crab by myself sometimes and I recharge. So I was definitely like feeling like high off of that trip. It was amazing. I met these amazing women from other states, from all across the country, and it was just like, oh, I'm about to we about to do all kind of crazy things. Like, as far as business is concerned, like, we gonna make moves. And I don't know what happened, but like I came home and I was on fire and I felt really charged up. And I guess I just like got back into the day to day and the mundane and like dealing with talking to like buyers that were just full of shit. Um, Excuse my language. They were just full of it. And I was like, yuck. And I had already been feeling like I want to change how I'm showing up in real estate. Like, I don't know if I want to work with end users anymore. I think I want to just start investing and, owning my own properties and getting into flipping, buying and holding and really just start investing because I'm a little bit over like working with end users. So as time like progressed and a couple weeks went by, I also consult. So I don't know what happened, but I was feeling so off. Like, I had already started to sense that I was coming into a new season. Like, I really felt that, like, spiritually, like I felt like I was coming into a new season, like God was doing something new in this season. He gave me a new word. There was a lot of confirmation on that trip in Vegas. There was a lot of things that God had spoke to me in the past that, certain individuals had confirmed. And I was like, wow, like God is really moving. And I just felt I felt so amazing. And anyway, so I get home and I start feeling like off kilter. And I can't fully describe it, but it's like I started to feel like I was betraying myself. Like, the things I was doing on a daily basis started to feel off. Like, and mind you, these were things that I was doing for the last maybe like 2 months and felt great and felt fine and felt fun and invigorating and exciting and purposeful. And this is also like how I can tell, and maybe this will help you. Like, this is how I know when seasons are changing, because doing certain consulting, doing different work, I was feeling great, and then I would speak to my real estate clients at different times, and I have stuff under contract. So when things are under contract, I'm not always out and about as much because I'm just waiting for my transactions to close. So I say all that to say, I had been doing certain things for the last like 2 months and felt really fulfilled. And now here I am in like the end of May, maybe June, probably June. June, I started feeling like, ugh, yuck. Like, I don't want to be doing this. I feel burdened. I feel like I'm betraying my purpose. I feel like I'm betraying, excuse me. Wow. I feel like I'm betraying like what God called me to do in this season. I felt so off. Like, this is not me. Like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. This is not representing the woman that God wants me to become in this next season and the seasons to come. So here's the good part. I felt really boggled down. I felt so off. And I decided, I was like, okay, it's time. And a friend of mine told me, he was like, it sounds like you need time. Like, you need time for yourself. You need a vacation because you've been saying this, you've been feeling this way. Like, your energy is different, like it's lower. And he's like, you got to take time to yourself. And I was like, yeah, I do. I really do. And so that's what I did. I took a week to myself, and here I am, like days later, and I feel like reset. I feel super recharged. Like so right now I live in one of the boroughs, and I went back to Long Island where I grew up. And I feel like super connected. So here's the thing, and here's my advice. Like when you're feeling really disconnected, when you're feeling like, okay, I don't feel purposeful right now. I feel really off. I don't feel aligned. What I do is this, right? I take time to myself. I take time to pray, and I do the things that remind me of like who I am, or the things that help me feel grounded. So going to the water. When I'm in Long Island, we don't live that far from the water and from different harbors and whatnot. So I'll go to the water, and I feel like so connected to God. I feel so still. I feel so peaceful. I feel recharged. I also like went on my favorite trail. So I do this trail in Cold Spring Harbor, and I don't know, there's just something about God and nature where I just feel connected to God. There's nothing that makes me feel more connected to God than nature. Now I'm not going camping by myself in the woods. I don't want to do the survival thing. No, I'm not doing that, but I will do a nice little trail with guides while the sun is out and shining and there's people going up and down the trail. That I will do. So I did that, and it was just like, I don't know, like I started to just feel like I started to dream again. I started to think again. I started to create again in my mind and think about my dreams and the things I set out to do. And another thing that I did that was really helpful was I went through my journals and like my notebooks. So let me show y'all. All right. So I buy these notebooks, and they're completely blank, right? They have no lines. I don't know what it is with me and like margins and lines. I'm like, I don't want to be boxed in. So I buy like these blank sketchbooks. And this is where I write out like my dreams, my ideas, events that I've planned in the past, like Black History Beyond the Box. That was something that started in like one of these notebooks. I have like probably 3 of them that are filled up, and tons of journals. That's also my thing. So it's like I started journaling, I started writing, and like my creativity was coming back. Like I was praying in the morning. I was looking over like things I wrote down in my journal from 2-3 years ago to remind myself of like who I am, who I desire to be, the things I desired before I got caught up in like my job and my career and working with clients and people and just like doing work every day. And I got reset. Like I really got reset. So that really helped me, taking time to myself, looking back on like my journal entries, my notebooks, and just like reading and being like, oh my gosh, girl, like, let's get back to this. Like, look at your dreams. Like just seeing it written down, I was like, oh my gosh. And I even have scriptures like write the vision and make it plain. And I just was like, oh my gosh, like I really felt reminded of like who God called me to be and the work he called me to do, like in this time, in this generation. Like I felt so empowered reading my own words, reading my own things that I wrote down, that, and along with like the word of God and whatnot, and just being prayerful too, and spending time with the Lord and in worship by myself. It was so helpful. I feel like I'm on fire again. Like I feel like I can create again. So that's the last thing I want to say. Like, I also had to remind myself, like, and my journals helped me remind myself of my passions. Like, it reminded me of what I love to do. Like, I love speaking. I love interacting with people. Like, that's where I get my energy. That's where I get my creativity. That's where I connect to people that I need to do the things that I aspire to do. That's where I connect with the shakers and the movers. Like, so what was I saying? So I started connecting with my passions again and the things I love, like speaking. Even though I'm not in front of anyone physically right now, I feel recharged. Like, I'm getting all of the things out of me that have to come out. Like, I have to speak, or I feel boggled down because I'm like, I have words that the world needs to hear. I have life lessons that y'all need, and I have to share it. Otherwise, I feel like I'm not helping anyone and I'm not fulfilling my purpose. And I know that God has called me to speak. So I'm trying to think about something else. So that was something that I did. And I just feel like so connected again. Like, I feel so aligned. I'm going to reset my weeks. I'm going to reschedule how I've been doing things. I'm going to allocate time to the projects and my business in a way that I wasn't before. So I'm just like realigning. So like this week coming up, baby, the schedule is new. I am refreshed. I'm on like a new wave. I have new things that I have to do. Like, as far as investing, like, I spoke to one of my lenders. He told me, he's whipping me into shape financially, to make sure like I can put down a certain amount on like my first investment property. And I'm just like, okay, let me do my homework that he told me to do. And I don't know, like, I just feel realigned, like I'm ready. And it just feels really good. So I say all that to say, if you're feeling disconnected from your dreams, if you're feeling like, God, like I've been doing all these things, I've been working and just going and going and going, and I feel so disconnected from who I really am and what I'm called to do, I would tell you to pause, take time to yourself, even if it's not a week, if it's 2 days, 3 days, fine. Like, do nothing, do the things that bring you peace. I don't know what that means for you. Maybe it's painting, maybe it's singing, maybe it's writing, maybe it's just sleeping and resting. Whatever it is that brings you peace and stillness, do that. Then I'll say, like, think back of the things that you're passionate about. If you have journals, refer back to them. If you have essays, if you have a memory box, any old notes like in your phone, go back to those things so that you could be reminded of like what you loved, what you dreamed of. Go back like 2 years, look at your photos, anything that could remind you, Facebook, Instagram posts, anything that could remind you of your passions, go back to that and look at it again and see if I think it will ignite something in you, because it did it for me. And I'm just like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to shake. I'm ready to, take the world by storm. And I know I'm not the only one that has felt this way before, where you just feel boggled down and like not aligned with your purpose. So that is my story. That is my life lesson for the day, for the week. Run with it. If you're feeling disconnected from your purpose, try doing those things. Get still, do the things you love, things that bring you rest and peace, and research, go back into your files and your archives and go look at what you are passionate about. Go back, refer back to your notes, to your phone, to the pictures, to this, to that. Go back and see what you were passionate about and tap into that thing, because your purpose will really like unlock so many things. And quickly before we close out, I want to say this. There's someone that I know. She's a friend of my best. So she's one of my best friends, other best friends from where she grew up, like when she was younger. So one of her friends, I remember, so we were talking about this, right? Because now she is doing photography all over the world. She is killing it. You can't even like book her if you wanted to. And her bookings sell out in like 2 minutes. Okay. And she is thriving financially. She is happy. She is full. That is a purpose-filled life. Like, she's not burdened. She's happy. She just was like, they would do like photo shoots on the weekend, like for fun, like down in like Huntington Harbor, Huntington Bay, at the docks and stuff. And then she was like, oh, like I really like doing this. And then she just started doing it and I guess charging or doing projects or whatever. And she perfected her craft and she went on YouTube and she learned. And now she's just like, I mean, her life is so beautiful and so filled, like so fulfilled, right? And that's why I'm like, listen, go back to your passions and the things you really feel like, yo, I'm purposed to do this and it does not feel like work. It feels like fun to me. Go back to those things. Remember those things. Don't forget them. And don't let anyone tell you that the things that, like, I don't know, maybe you like to make bow ties. Maybe someone will tell you, oh, you're not going to make money with that. Don't ever listen to those things. Don't ever listen. Don't ever listen. Do something, because guess what? The girl I just was speaking about had a political science degree. So it's just like, come on. And didn't get into, my friend had shared, she didn't get into the teaching program she wanted to get into. And so then photography, I don't know, just something happened. But like, that's a God divine thing. Like, she faced that closed door and God pushed her right into her purpose and she is thriving. So anyway, I say all that to say, go for it. Like, if it's art, if it's things that people say don't make money, do not listen to that. Because when you're doing what you love and what you're called to do, what you're purposed to do, and you do the thing that feels like breathing, everything else, like, it's all gonna come. Like the financial success, like the fulfillment, the joy, the peace, like it's gonna open doors for you. Like the word of God says, like, your gifts will make room for you. So anyway, that was just an extra gem. But like, seriously, take time to yourself, rest, and revert back, look back in your archives and see what you were passionate about. You know, if you're feeling disconnected right now, or just feeling like, damn, you're so caught in the mundane and the day to day, I feel you. I get it. It happens to all of us. Listen, like, life is a journey. It's a long process. We're never done until we don't have breath in our lungs. So keep going. It'll work out. Take your time off. Take a day to yourself. And go back to those journals. Go back to those notebooks and those, you know, figure it out. What did you love to do? What did you want to do? Do it, you know. But reset first. Take some time to yourself. So that is all, you guys. I really hope this was helpful. I think it will be. And make sure you like, you subscribe for the podcast, Spotify, Apple Music. Make sure you hop on there, listen to episodes, you know, stay posted. You can find me on Instagram. I believe I'm like Yvette Hallman or something like that. And then for YouTube, just like and subscribe. And share this with someone. Share this with someone that needs it, because I guarantee you, you know someone that needs to hear this. So share it with them. Like, we all need to pick me up, and I hope this helped. So adios, guys. And see, like, I could create again because I feel full. I'm ready. So recharge, everyone. And I will be back with another episode at some point and another video for you YouTube people.